From Eldridge Park in Orleans, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks looking to rebound off a 4-2 loss at Doran Park last night at the hands of the Bourne Braves. Tonight, they'll go up against the Eastern Division foe, the Orleans Firebirds, as both teams with an eye toward the playoffs. Hyannis has got a lot of work to do if they want to dig themselves out of the hole in the Western Division. Lyle Goldstein alongside Brendan Howe. We thank you for joining us on this beautiful evening here in Orleans, Massachusetts. And Lyle, tonight, Hyannis, a tough loss last night, but they made things interesting down the stretch. What are they going to have to do tonight?
Well, I think it's like we talked about at the end of last night. I mean, the pitching was really there. Tyler Madison put together a really nice start, probably the second best one of his summer. The offense just has to get it going again, and they had been up until the previous two games, so they have the ability to do it. It's just about kind of like what we talked about, both sides clicking at the same time. Good pitching, good hitting will equate to wins. So we'll see what they've got in store tonight.
It's the Nevada right-hander Owen Schartz on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds tonight, as Jordan Westberg, the leadoff man tonight for Chad Gassman and his Harbor Hawks, makes his way up to the plate. Sun's starting to set here from Eldridge Park as we approach first pitch. Schartz on the mound as we await the home plate umpire to retreat to the back of the plate. That's Joe Caraco. Westberg digging in, a .480 hitter. He's cooled off a bit after an 0-for-5 night last night in Bourne. And he was up over 600 through his first few games of the 2019 season. It was a late arrival. The Mississippi State Bulldog stands in from the right side, watches a fastball in there for a striker underway. First pitch at 6:59 p.m. Eastern time here from Orleans. Schartz into his motion in 0-1. Westberg pops it up on the infield right side, ranging after the second baseman Whitcomb, the first baseman Gill. And that one will be reeled in by Gill, up and over by the netting down the first base line for out number one. Westberg sent one up the elevator shaft down the right field line, just a bit behind the first base bag. And Gill had a long way to go into foul ground, but was able to recover and make the grab. That'll bring up Rigsby Mosley. And taking a look at the rest of the Hyannis lineup, Trevor Hauber will follow Rigsby, Hunter Goodman behind him, Jackson Olson, Jared DeSantelo, and Mitch McIntyre. And the final two in the order, Anthony Servideo and Adam Hackenberg. Mosley watches the first pitch strike at the knees, down 0-1. Schartz is making his fourth start of the season in a Firebird uniform, his sixth appearance overall, as Mosley slaps one down the left side, a fastball, and that one will trail off and out of play. And that one will be reeled in by the left fielder Kokoska down the line and left. Down by the fence. 2 outs right off the bat for Owen Schartz. And his bat staying aggressive early on here in the top half of the first inning from Eldridge, and that'll bring up Trevor Hauber. As Trevor digs in, hasn't picked up a base hit in a couple of games, but he's been an on-base machine by working some walks. Picked up 3 last night. As a matter of fact, he's racked up 2 walks in his last 3 games. Breaking ball, that went in for a strike. Count evens up at 1-1. Schartz comes into his outing tonight, a 1-1 record, a 6.58 ERA. 1-1, a chopper. Back to the mound, into the glove of Schartz. He trots up to first and flips to the cover, and Gill in time to get Hauber, and that retires the side. So quickly 3 up, 3 down for Hyannis on the top of the first inning. Score was from Eldridge Park with the hometown Firebirds to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back from Eldridge Park with the hometown Firebirds making their way to the plate in the bottom of the first. It's the right-hander from Dayton, Cole Pleka, on the hill for Hyannis, making his first start of the 2019 summer. So far on the season for Cole, no record, a 7.71 ERA. Worked in 3 appearances, tossed 4 2/3 innings, struck out 4, walked 2, and surrendered 7 hits, as Jacob Hurtubise has made his way up to the left-handed batter's box to start things off for Orleans. Pleka into his motion, first offering on the way. Fastball downstairs, 1-0. And the Orleans lineup following Hurtubise looks like this. Zach Britton and Max Troiani make up the top third. Ray Gill, Zach Kokoska, and Tanner Murray in the middle of the lineup. As Pleka into his motion, 0-1. That one catches the zone. And the count evens up. Bottom third of the order, Eddie McCabe, David Avidia, and Shea Whitcomb. The right-hander from Dayton, Pleka, trying to silence these Orleans bats who have been on the rise the past couple of games. Swing and a drive to right field. Hurtubise sends one right at the right fielder, Rigsby Mosley, who reels it in and was 1 down. So a line shot off the bat of Hurtubise. No problem for Mosley to move over a couple steps and reel it in. Gonna bring up the right fielder, Zach Britton. Now, Britton, the guy, comes in carrying a 267 average. But he has been a productive bat in this Orleans lineup, batting here with 1 on, nobody out. First pitch, a fastball, a call, strike in the outside corner. Just how productive has Britton been? He's picked up a hit in all but 3 games he's played this season. Awaits the 0-1 offering from Pleka, fastball downstairs into the dirt. Backhanded by the catcher, Hackenberg. The count evens a ball and a strike. Sun is out and shining as the hill continues to fill up here at Eldridge Park. It was a very quick top half of the first inning. Pleka is into his motion and offers a 1-1. Upstairs with a fastball at the letters. 2 balls and a strike. Second time Hyannis has paid a visit to Eldridge Park this season. Last time they were here, they fell 7-5 was the final score in that contest. They trailed 7-0 through 4 frames, but the offense came alive late to make things a bit interesting. 2-1. Chopper right side. And under the glove of Hackenberg, it gets down the line into right field. Round first, digging for second, Zach Britton. Mosley's throw into second. In time to get him. Rigsby Mosley guns Britton down at second, trying to stretch a single into a double. That one originally got under the glove of DeSantolo. Mosley hustled over to the line to scoop it up and fired it into Westberg, who applied the tag in time.
Well, what a play. I mean, Rigsby Mosley moving to his right, fielding the balls that got under the glove of DeSantolo. And not only did he fire an absolute bullet to second base, but Jordan Westberg sold it pretty well. He was kind of nonchalantly standing as Britton was heading towards second, and last second grabs and applies the tag. Nice job on both ends.
Max Troiani steps in from the right side. The Bentley University outfielder watches a breaking ball in for a strike on the inner half of the plate. Troiani up over 300, as he has been for most of the year. He's picked up 25 hits, but Lyle just 1 for extra bases. 0-1, cut and a miss. Troiani fooled there over the top of another breaking ball from Pleka. So the Orleans DH quickly finds himself down, no balls, 2 strikes, and Pleka looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Troiani back into the box as Pleka looks for a sign down at Hackenberg. He's got one into his motion, the 0-2. Fastball up and away. Good waste pitch, trying to get Troiani to go out of the zone after it. No home runs and 9 RBIs for Troiani on the season. One ball and 2 strikes the count as Pleka bends the knees. He's into his windup. The pitch, fastball, Troiani slaps at it and sends it down the right side, foul up and over the hill. The Pleka, his 4th appearance, his first start. His last appearance in Catuit on July the 5th, a bit of a rocky one. Won an inning and 2/3 in that contest, gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits. The next 1-2, breaking ball, Troiani sends it back up the middle, a base hit. His 26th of the summer. And the singles machine does it again, as they like to say here in Orleans. This guy just continues to hit and hit some more. Raises the average a couple more points. He's 1 for 1. That'll bring up Ray Gill.
And he just saw one out over the plate. Looked like it was off speed from Pleka and just shot it right back up the middle. For Troiani, I mean, a guy who has some power. Really strong right-handed hitter, but just hasn't all translated in game for Orleans. However, he just makes it work single after single.
So Ray Gill steps in with 1 aboard and 2 outs as Troiani gets a pretty sizable lead at first, held on by DeSantolo. First pitch, fastball outside, 1 and out. Looking at the Hyannis defense quickly, Trevor Hover in left, Mitch McIntyre in center, Rigsby Mosley, of course, in right field. He's been busy already tonight. Around the infield, Jackson Olsen at third, Jordan Westberg at short, Anthony Servideo at second, Jared DeSantolo at first base. Flecka winds and fires, fastball into the dirt. That moves to 2 balls, no strikes. And of course, Adam Hackenberg making up the other half of the battery with the right-hander from Dayton, Pleca, on the bump. So Ray Gill made a pinch hit appearance last night in the 3-2 win against Harwich for these Firebirds. Pleca winds and fires, 2-0, fastball low. So Gill has worked himself ahead in the count here. 3 balls, no strikes with 2 away in the Orleans half of the first inning. Gill has yet to pick up a hit in his last 4 games he's appeared in. Trying to get things going with the bat out of the cleanup spot tonight. Pleca's 3-0. Fastball called strike right down Main Street. Lyle, this is a Hyannis pitching staff that has really struggled, but last night they settled down a bit. It's just the offense couldn't come up with that timely clutch hit at the end. Hyannis ultimately fell 4-2 with the hands of the Bourne Braves. Pleca turns and fires back to first. Tag applied, not in time. Troiani's in head first. As Ray Gill digs back in with a 3-1 count, a good hitter's count for him. He's got some pop in that bat. 3 home runs and 9 RBIs to go with it this season. Pleca looks back to first, now comes set and fires. 3-1 downstairs. Gill draws a 2-out walk. Back-to-back base runners aboard here for Orleans in the first. Troiani gets pushed up to second, and then I'll transition things to Zach Kokoska.
Well, Pleca just had a little bit more trouble finding the zone there. Missed down a couple times. Just couldn't really find the zone to Ray Gill, a guy who's a pretty deadly bat in the Orleans lineup with the 3 home runs like you talked about. Now he's induced himself into a little bit of a situation with 2 outs. He retired the first 2 hitters. He's given up 2 straight base runners.
Trying to work out of the first inning. Orleans trying to strike first with Kokoska at the dish. He watches a fastball inside. And of course, for Pleca this season, he had surrendered just 2 walks in his previous 3 outings. That his 3rd of the season. That one put a runner in scoring position, Max Troiani, with a pretty big lead, not being held on at second. Kokoska swings and lifts one down the left side. That one is going to get and over toward the left side, but Haber ranges back and makes the catch to retire the side. So Pleca able to induce some fly ball contact. Haber helps him out down the left field line, and Orleans strands 2. They pick up a couple of hits in the inning, but we're still scoreless from Eldridge Park. Hyannis back to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Right back to action here from Eldridge Park in the top of the second. Owen Sharks back to the hill. He worked a 1-2-3 first inning, and now Hyannis will send the middle third to the plate here in the second. Hunter Goodman, Jackson Olsen, and Jared DeSantolo. Goodman steps in, the leader on the Cape in RBIs with 22. As he watches a fastball high, the count 1-0. So Goodman steps in, a .235 hitter coming into tonight. One of just 3 righties in the lineup tonight for manager Chad Gassman. Sharks pumps in a fastball at the knees to even the count, 1-1. So Sharks was able to work a very quick first inning. Goodman trying to pick up the first hit for Hyannis tonight. Fastball again low. 2 balls and a strike. Orleans was able to rack up a hit. Matter of fact, a couple in the first inning. Sharks into his motion, 2-1, popped up foul straight back over the press box and out of play. And Goodman last night picked up another hit. He went 1 for 5 and also scored a run. One of just 2 that Hyannis was able to bring around last night against the Bourne Braves. 2-2 offering from Sharks is upstairs at the letters, and the count fills. Jackson Olsen back in the lineup tonight. He awaits on deck, getting his first start in quite some time. Sharks with a payoff offering. Fouled straight back off the screen. The Memphis Tiger Goodman taps the plate and digs in against Sharks, who's back into his motion for an next 3-2. Goodman swings, pops it up on the infield, back behind home plate. Drifting back and losing the mask of Vidia, he'll set under it and retire Goodman for out number 1. Those plays are a lot tougher than they look, Lyle. The catcher losing the mask that time, Vidia going straight back behind the dish to make the grab.
Yeah, they're really tough. One, like you said, when you have to lose the mask and take your eye off the ball. But then when you basically have to flag it down blind for a second and essentially get right under it to make the grab. Avidia did it nicely.
Jackson Olsen steps in. He looks at a first pitch fastball that ran away. Jackson, a .298 hitter on the 2019 season. Batting here with nobody on and 1 down. Swings at a fastball and lifts it in the air to right center field, sending back Britton and Hurtubise converging. And it's going to be Britton to call everyone off and make the grab, 2 down. The Sharks being very economical here through the first 5 hitters. And now it'll be Jared DeSantilo's turn with 2 down.
You know, Olsen gave it a nice ride, but probably just a little bit under it. Of course, the gaps are also huge here in Orleans. 359 to right center. And that one, like you said, the 2 Hurtubise and Britton converging for an easy pop out, but longer than, pretty long ball hit, but just, again, these Orleans gaps will totally kill fly balls.
So in steps Jared DeSantilo, who's been one of the better bats in the Hyannis lineup as he swings at a first pitch fastball and chops it right side. The count 0-1. Jared, a .364 hitter. That's good for third on the Cape. Trying to keep pace with Zach DeLoach of the Falmouth Commodores and Wyatt Young of the YD Red Sox at the top of the leaderboard. Swinging a ground to one first base side. Gill stumbles out of the glove, and DeSantilo's going to reach safely. So Sharks was trying to go 6 up, 6 down through the first 2. But Ray Gill just unable to shovel it out of the glove to the covering pitcher. And DeSantilo able to get aboard with 2 down and give Mitch McIntyre a chance.
Yeah, and the first baseman, Gill, had to come a ways off the bag to make the play. He did so, but then on the attempted transfer, just in and out of his glove, as it's going to be ruled an E3.
Now DeSantilo able to get on base. That extends his on-base streak to 12 games. But the hit streak still stands at 7, although very early on in the ballgame as McIntyre looks at a strike. A few more at bats to try and extend that streak to 8 games. McIntyre, of course, a two-way player from BYU. He's been on the mound a few times for Hyannis in 2019, but a bat first. And here he hits with 1 on and 2 down as he swings and chops one foul straight back. So Mitch has been an integral part of this Hyannis outfield for most of the season. He's been platooned in right field, center field, made some appearances in left field. Of course, that's been Trevor Hopper's spot ever since his arrival on the Cape. And 1 off day over the weekend as part of the doubleheader against the Braves. Curveball misses high, delayed steal from DeSantilo. Throw down is going to beat him by an absolute mile. DeSantilo was trying to catch Avidia napping. It did not work. The throw to Murray beats him by about a good 10 feet, and that is how the Hyannis half of the second inning will end. Still scoreless here from Eldridge Park. Orleans coming back to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the second inning as Orleans makes their way back to the dish for their second cuts of the ballgame against right-hander Cole Pletka. It'll be Tanner Murray, Eddie McCabe, and David Avidia to the dish. Both pitchers been pretty economical through the first couple times on the hill. This is the second for Pletka as he stands up on top of the rubber. Waiting Murray to dig in, a .233 hitter. Coming into action tonight, the right-hander into his motion, fires the first pitch. It's a fastball in the air to dead center field. Sending back McIntyre a couple steps. He'll line it up and make the grab. The one pitch and one out for Cole Pletka in the bottom of the second inning. And that'll turn things to Eddie McCabe.
Well, Murray just squared up a first pitch fastball, saw it out over the plate and sent it on a line to dead center. McIntyre only having to move a few steps back. And if you're Cole Pletka, that's exactly where you want all your baseballs going tonight, is to dead center, 434 feet.
And it's a long shot out there as Pletka pumps in a first pitch fastball for a strike. And we've seen some wild dimensions. Of course, Bourne's outfield, the gap's absolutely humongous there at Doran Park. We saw them last night. And here at Eldridge Park, no different to dead center as Pletka winds and deals a high breaking ball that stayed up at the head level. And the count evens a ball and a strike.
Yeah, every field has its obscurities for sure. And we're talking about the Bourne gaps, but probably none more so than Eldridge Park. I mean, how often are you going to see 434 to dead center? That is just a country mile.
1-1 from Pletka. Fastball inside corner, a called strike to McCabe. Bent back out of the way a little bit. But on-point umpire Joe Caraco not having it. Plecka's fastball picked up the inside corner. Count stands at 1-2 as McCabe wiggles the bat above his right shoulder. Pletka into his motion. Here's the 1-2 offering. Breaking ball, McCabe inside out swing. A bouncer into right field, a base hit. It gets past Servideo, got it off the inside handle portion of the bat. Eddie McCabe notches his fourth hit in the last 6 games. That'll bring up the catcher, David Avidia, who just gunned down Jared DeSantolo trying to swipe second to end Hyannis' half of the second.
Yeah, I think that was an off-speed pitch from Pletka that didn't quite get down. As a result, McCabe just kind of fists it to the right side, finds a gap on the 3-4 hole.
So Avidia steps in. He's racked up hits in back-to-back games for this Firebirds lineup as he takes a strike at the knees. 0-1. Runner at first, Eddie McCabe. Pletka induced a fly out to dead center from Tanner Murray. Pletka being forced to work from the stretch. Orleans has racked up 2 hits on the ball game so far. Right-hander kicks and fires. Another fastball outside this time, trying to pick up the outside corner. That one came in at 89 on the gun. Count levels 1-1. For this Orleans lineup, 4-6 in their last 10 contests. Trying to get back on track and keep pace in a very, very tight Eastern Division race. Pleka's 1-1. Fastball outside, 2 balls and a strike. And while you talk about standings, Hyannis has put themselves in a tough spot in the Western Division, but looking at the Eastern Division for just a second, the team that Hyannis will see twice over the weekend is part of a home and home. The Chatham Anglers, they reside in first place with 31 points. But just 3 points behind them are these Firebirds in third place. Pleka turns and fires back to first. No tag applied from DeSantolo.
Yeah, the East is all really close. And to put it into perspective, Chatham sits in first place with 31 points. Harwich sits in dead last with 24. So a 7-point difference between the first place team and the last place team of the 5 in the East Division.
Pleka's 2-1 offering. Swung on, popped up, and fouled out of play. Count will pull even at 2-2 with 1 down and a man aboard. But it's really anybody's race in this Eastern Division. And as for the West with Hyannis, they've got to really string together some wins. So this one, an important contest tonight at Eldridge Park. And they played these Firebirds tough last time they were here. Only lost 7-5, but cannot get down by a large deficit like they did last time, 7-0 and through 4 frames. Pleka trying to work through this Orleans second inning and get his bats back to the dish, the 2-2. Fastball popped up right side again, over the hill, out of play. Hyannis in search of their 6th win of the season. They come into tonight 5-19-1. Everybody else on the Cape has reached double-digit wins, aside for the orange and blue. Avidia stands back into the box, into his stance. Pleka fires a 2-2, breaking ball. Strike 3 called out of the glove of Hackenberg. Avidia goes down. First strikeout of the ball game for Cole Pleka. And now comes the number 9 man, Shea Wickup.
That's a good breaking ball he turns over right there. Just moves from the inner half of the zone to the out. Really nice movement. It gets Avidia chasing. And obviously no chance to try to run down to first with Eddie McCabe occupying that bag.
So Wickham up to the dish with a runner aboard at first. Trying to extend this Orleans half of the second inning. They picked up a pair of base knocks. One error per side as well through the inning and a half. So Wickham, a .227 hitter, batting in the number 9 spot for manager Kelly Nicholson. Pleca kicks and fires, first offering a fastball hot. And for Wickham, he's been out of the lineup for the past couple of nights. And a big game versus Chatham on July the 8th, went 2 for 3 and launched a home run. Picked up an RBI that was his 7th of the season. 1-0 from Pleca. Fastball on the ground, left side, past the diving glove of Westberg into left field, a base hit. So Wickham doing the job and continues the Orleans half of the second inning, and that will give things back to the top of the order for Hurtubise.
And some more 2-out base runners for Orleans. They had 2 in the first. Now they got 1 here in the second with Wickham's first hit. They just punched that one through the left side, slapped hard on the ground.
So Hurtubise steps in for his second plate appearance in as many innings. 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to Rigsby Mosley down the right field line to lead off the Orleans first inning. Second runner in scoring position of the night for Orleans. Like a tan glove curled up against the front leg. Now he comes set. Kicks and fires. Fastball inside 1-0. Pitching has to be the name of the game tonight once again for Hyannis. The pitching staff was great last night. Tyler Madison turned in a beautiful start last night, but bullpen unable to hold down the fort late. 1-0 to Hurtubise. In the air to left field. Avram ranging over toward the line a couple steps. He's got it to end the inning. So Hurtubise 0 for 2, and Orleans once again strands a couple of base runners. One in scoring position. And we're still scoreless from Eldridge Park. Hyannis back to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Bottom third of the lineup coming to the plate for Hyannis in the top of the third. It'll be Mitch McIntyre, Anthony Servideo, and Adam Hackenberg. With the right-hander Owen Schartz out of the University of Nevada back on the mound for inning number 3 of his night. Roxon fires the first pitch to McIntyre. Fastball down central. It's 0-1. McIntyre comes into the day hitting .227. 4 runs batted in. He's been in and out of the starting lineup this summer. A 1 from Schartz. Down low, count levels at 1-1. So Hyannis has kind of rotated their outfielders like a carousel this summer, and they've got a lot of them. Trevor Hopper, usually a consistent starter in left, as the 1-1 comes in. Misses down 2 balls, 1 strike. You'll see Teodosio get some mixed starts out in center field and right field. Rigsby Mosley will spend some time in right field. Tonight, of course, it's McIntyre in center. A lot of guys they have to mix in. But McIntyre getting the start tonight out at Eldridge Park. 2-1 from Schartz. Fastball hits at the knees. It's 2-2. So McIntyre looking to get something jump-started in the top of the third. For Owen Schartz, he's faced the minimum so far. He winds and fires. The 2-2 on the way. Misses just outside, and the count runs full. Jared DeSantolo reached back in the top of the second on an E3, but he was caught out on the base paths on an attempted delayed steal. That ended the top of the frame. 3-2. Ground ball right side, right at the first baseman Gill on a couple of hops. He takes it himself to the bag and wins the foot race. 1 down. That'll bring up Servideo, as Owen Schartz has now seen the minimum 7 batters through 2 1/3 innings on the mound. So Servideo now the hitter. He got the start last night. Walked once. Otherwise, a trio of flyouts and a strikeout. Pitch from Schartz down low. 1 ball, no strikes. So Owen Schartz, who just finished his freshman year, the 6'2", 185-pound right-hander, throws 3 different pitches, fastball, changeup, curve. Servideo rips a fastball down the right field line. That's going to stay fair and get toward the corner. He's around the bag at first, thinking 2. Up with the ball, the right fielder, Britton, and the throw comes in way late. Standing up at second base with a 1-out double, Anthony Servideo, to put a Hyannis runner in scoring position for the first time tonight.
Well, Servideo looked to be a bit fooled on that pitch, but fortunate to get a piece of the bat on it and just put it down the right field line, and it fell fair by a matter of inches. Went cruising around first and into second, no problem.
That'll bring up Adam Hackenberg. He's the 3rd of 3 right-handed hitters in the lineup tonight. One of the others, Jordan Westberg, he stands on deck representing the top of the lineup at the leadoff spot. So Schartz will work to the stretch. He fires home with the slide step, and it's a called strike with a heater. So once again, Schartz, 3-pitch guy, fastball, curveball, change. The fastball usually sits low to mid-90s. Hackenberg getting his first at bat. Didn't see the start in last night's contest. Schartz checks the runner, fires home, fouled straight back. The count will move to 0-2 with 1 down. And just like the outfielders have rotated, the catchers have rotated a decent amount as well. For the most part, it's Chad McDaniel and Adam Hackenberg going every other. They basically exchange starts game by game. But last night, Hunter Goodman getting a start behind the plate. Goodman spent most of his summer at the DH spot, as well as some mixed starts in left field. 0-2, swing and a miss. A fastball above the letters for strike 3. Schartz makes it his first strikeout, putting 2 down on the board for Jordan Westberg. So right there, Schartz just elevates that fastball above the letters. It got Hackenberg chasing. And that'll now bring up Jordan Westberg, who's 0 for 1 with a pop out to first base. But again, lineups have regulated or kind of mixed in from time to time for the most part of the season. Rowdy Jordan, another outfielder who's also worked in on most nights. He has the night off tonight. Westberg swings and misses through a first pitch from Schartz. It's 0-1. So a lot of outfielders that have been mixed in. Again, at the catcher spot, mostly McDaniel and Hackenberg. Goodman will get some spotty starts in from time to time. For the most part, though, for Hunter Goodman, once again, the DH spot. For Jordan Westberg, he's made all his starts at short so far since joining Hyannis. Pitch, swing, and a foul tip back behind the plate. And it's 0-2 to the Mississippi State Bulldog. 0-0 the score in the top of the 3rd. Hyannis has their first man in scoring position. It's Anthony Servideo after the 1-out double down the line. Westberg puts the right hand to the top of the helmet. Now he's going to flip the bat at the zone once and get into his stance with the knee slightly bent, back foot right at the back part of the batter's box. Stretch in the 0-2 from Schartz. Fastball way up high, busts the tower a little bit on Westberg. And it's 1-2. Schartz mostly served as a Sunday starter for the Nevada Wolfpack in 2019. He made 14 starts from that spot. Getting his start tonight for Orleans, his 4th of the summer, 6th appearance. Looks at Servideo, fires home, swinging a foul tip back into the glove from Westberg. That'll end the inning. So Owen Schartz records his 2nd strikeout of the night. And just like that, Hyannis has retired in the top of the 3rd. Servideo with the 1-out double. He's stranded there. For Hyannis in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd when we come back. It's Hyannis 0, Orleans 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Zach Britton, Max Troiani, and Ray Gill, the 2-3-4 in the Orleans lineup, coming to the plate to begin the bottom of the third frame. Cole Pletka's thrown 2 scoreless for Hyannis so far. He toes the slab once again for inning number 3. The Louisville Cardinals, Zach Britton digging into the left side of the box. As Pletka bends the knees, winds and fires the first pitch. It's a fastball just low. Britton reached base for about 8 seconds when the ball went under Jared DeSantelo's glove at first. As Pletka fires home with the 1-0, swinging a fly ball foul down the right field line, hooking onto the hill. The 1-1 the count, but once again with Britton. DeSantelo's error skipped down the right field line. That allowed him to reach first. He tried to stretch it to second, but Rigsby Mosley fired an absolute strike to Jordan Westberg as Britton was retired on a 9-6 putout. 1-1. Up high, 2 balls, 1 strike to the Louisville product. So Britton today 0 for 1. Orleans with 3 hits so far, all of them being singles. One, of course, from Max Troiani, who stands on deck. Pletka gets the sign from Hackenberg, comes home. Fastball runs just away. 3-1 the count. So again, Pletka's worked 2 strong innings so far. As he steps off the mound, resets for a second, gets back on. He has a wide base from the windup. As he now bends his knees, comes home with the 3-1, swinging a high pop-up, foul out of play. That'll get back on the highway that resides just beyond Eldridge Park. So Britton's going to deal with a 3-2 count with nobody away. It's 0-0 in the bottom of the third. Once again, Orleans with a trio of hits, all singles. Hyannis with just 1. That came on the Anthony Servideo double down the right field line. Britton's now going to call time. He wants to step out of the box for just a second. He briefly steps that right foot outside the chalk, now back in, with Pletka stepping off the mound for a second as he stands on top of the rubber. Pletka now ready. Winds and deals the 3-2. Check swing, and he goes around strike 3. So Cole Pletka makes it his second strikeout of the night, and there's 1 down in the bottom of the third. So I'm going to bring up Max Troiani, designated hitter from Bentley University. Troiani today 1 for 1. He singled up the middle in his first time facing Cole Pletka. The righty out of Dayton standing tall up on the mound. Now he bends the knees. Toe taps a couple times, fires home. Fastball way upstairs, it's 1-0. So for Cole Pletka, guy that stands at 6'8", 230 pounds, one of the bigger arms on this Hyannis roster. Fires home the 1-0. Fastball, that's good at the top of the zone for a called strike. Fastball usually sits in the high 80s. It's been right around 88 for the majority of this start, at least toward the beginning. That one clocked in at 88 just a minute ago. 1-1. Fastball just away. 2 balls, 1 strike. That one in a little bit of an uptick at 89. So again, sitting pretty comfortably in the high 80s, can touch 90 at times. Also mixes in a breaking ball. Slight wind blowing out toward right center field. 1 down in the bottom of the third, 0-0 the score. 2-1 from Pletka. Swinging a tip back into the glove as the count will level. Pletka made 10 starts in his season at Dayton, 14 appearances, where he went 4-3 with a 4.79 ERA. He shakes off one sign from Hackenberg. Now he nods twice as he sets right at the belt. 2-2 on the way. Ground ball right side, backhanded by DeSantelo, but it's off his glove and into right field. Troiani hits the bag at first. He'll stop right there, and we'll see how they rule the at-bat, but he's aboard for the second time tonight as it'll translate things to Ray Gill. So Ray Gill, the hitter. That one just off the glove of DeSantelo, who tried to move to his right, make the backhanded stop. But it got off his glove, moving its way into right field.
And DeSantelo's had a couple of tough plays down there at first when he's had to make a sliding backhanded stop, unable to come up with either one. And that time, Troiani on board for the second time.
Pletka back out to the stretch, pitch to the hitter Ray Gill. It misses low. So we'll still await what the ruling is on the Troiani at bat. He's already got 1 hit tonight. He's already top 10 in the Cape League in hits. and a lot of singles. There's no doubt about it. Pletka throws over. Troiani caught leaning towards second. Now he's in a rundown. Oh no, they're going to call a balk on Pletka last second, and Troiani's going to be awarded second base. So Pletka looked like he had Troiani stuck in a rundown. Max was leaning that right leg to get some momentum towards second base. He thought Pletka fired home, but clearly a little bit of an early jerk from the right-hander with that front shoulder, as Troiani's been awarded second base as he moves into scoring position. And in terms of Troiani's at bat, it was ruled a single, so that's his second hit of the night. He's made it a 2-for-2 day. Average sits at 329. So Gill back into the box. He's going to deal with a 1-0 count and a runner on second. For Orleans, this is their third runner in scoring position of the night. Now the pitch from Pletka, breaking ball, catches the outside corner, and it's 1-1. So Pletka, despite a fastball that's not incredibly overpowering, still finds ways to strike guys out. In fact, he had 81 punch-outs in his season at Dayton. He was second on the team in strikeouts as he calls time to step off the mound. So again, high 80s fastball, but that doesn't mean he can't miss bats. So far tonight, he's already got a pair of punch-outs. Counts 1-1 to the hitter Ray Gill, who in his first at-bat walked and was stranded at first. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss at the top of the zone. Gill hacks underneath it, and the count runs to 1-2. So again for Pletka, high strikeout total. That ranks second on the Flyers roster. He also ranked second in starts made, third in wins, and third in innings pitched with 56 1/3. Pletka gets a sign from Hackenberg. He's now going to come set right at the belt, delivers home, swing and a miss. Gill fans for the third strikeout of the night for the right-hander Pletka, and there's two away in the bottom of the third inning for the Kansas State left fielder Zach Kokoska. So two strikeouts in the inning for Pletka. Punched out Avidia back in the second. And now Britton and Gill here in the third. So Kokoska's flied out to fairly deep left field once already. He's one of three left-handed hitters in the Firebirds lineup. Pletka's going to check the runner and come home. Down low, Hackenberg smothers it, but Troiani taking off for third. Throw to Olsen, tag applied, but he's called safe. Olsen couldn't quite apply the tag, sliding under it the runner Troiani. And he's aboard at third base with 2 outs, just 90 feet away from scoring position. That throw beat Troiani there by a good sizable amount. Looked like about 8 feet or so. But somehow the Bentley product finds a way to dive head first into third base and around the tag.
Yeah, and that one, Hackenberg's throw, you mentioned it, beat Troiani by a good amount. And I'm not sure if he got the hand around the back of the tag toward the back part of the third base bag, but Gassman's out to have a word. He does not look happy. He's on his way back to the dugout now, but he gave the umpire down there at third base, Charlie Caruso, an earful.
Well, he already gave the umpire and crew an earful back on the Pletka balk. Head coach Chad Gassman didn't believe as if Cole Pletka had made any illegal movement. And right there, having a few words about the tag applied from Olsen. But now the pitch from Pletka to the hitter Kokoska, it's upstairs 2-0. So 2 away. Runner on third for Orleans. It's 0-0 in the bottom of the third. Hyannis was involved in a pitcher's duel last night where they eventually dropped the contest 4-2. And now Pletka fires home the 2-0, waving a miss from Kokoska. Count will move to 2-1. To recap that one from last night, Tyler Madison, the right-hander out of Bryant, went 5 innings, 2 earned runs. One of his better starts all summer as he really threw the baseball well. Kept Hyannis in the game as it was 2-2 going into the bottom of the 8th inning. But Orleans pulled away on a couple of wild pitches from the Hyannis bullpen. Time's going to be called as the left-handed hitting Kokoska is going to step out of the box to reset for a moment. But again, Hyannis, in a crucial game against the Bourne Braves yesterday, ended up losing 4-2, 6 hits to Bourne 7. Now the 2-1 from Pletka. Ground ball right side, right at Servideo. Fields cleanly gloved side, throws to first, inning over. So once again, Cole Pletka induces himself into and out of trouble, this time in the bottom of the third. Troiani stranded 90 feet away, And this stays a 0-0 contest through 3 frames. For Orleans in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We'll go to the top of the 4th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Two, three, four coming to the plate for Hyannis in the top of the 4th. It'll be Rigsby Mosley, Trevor Hauver, and Hunter Goodman. The men due up against the right-hander Owen Schartz, back out for inning number 4. Mosley, the hitter from the left side. As Kokoska gets the sign, fires home. Breaking ball missing well out in front of the plate. It's 1-0. Mosley flew out to left in his first at-bat. Last night, 0 for 2 with an RBI on a fielder's choice. Pitch from Schartz. Fastball that misses just outside. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Schartz, not a guy that's that overpowering with his fastball either. Pitch in. Misses low, and it's 3 balls, no strikes. Again, he has the ability to run the fastball up. So far tonight, this hasn't been there. It's been more in the high 80s as opposed to the low to mid 90s. Now the 3-0 to Mosley. Get me over fastball. That's a called strike. It's 3-1. Mosley on the season hitting .245. He's driven in 6. As Schartz will fire home the 3-1. Swing and a fly ball the other way down the left field line. Kokoska chasing, and he dives to make the catch. So Mosley retired for the first out. He slaps one down the left field line, but Kokoska makes a nice play, moving well over toward the line and to his right for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, great hustle by Kokoska over toward the line that time, and bit of a lunging, diving sort of catch down by the ankles.
So Trevor Hauver now the hitter with 1 away. Pitch from Schartz, swing and a miss over the top of an off-speed offering. Hauver 1 for 3. Or rather, a 1-2-3 putout in his first at-bat. Grounded out to the pitcher as Schartz just underhanded to Ray Gillett first. Next offering, fastball up high, it's 1-1. Appeal down to first, does not go around, according to third base umpire Charlie Curcio. Hauver last night 0 for 2, but a trio of walks. Now the pitch from Schartz, swinging a foul back, and the count moves to 1-2. So Hauver, not unknown to drawing a lot of walks. In fact, so much so that he ranks tied for first in the Cape League with base on balls at 18. That's right dead even with Jamal O'Gwyn of Chatham. 1-2. Up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As Hauver lets the count level. And in fact, looking back to the last time he played here at Eldridge Park, he walked 4 times. Scored twice, but it was an 0 for 1 day. The next pitch comes in, it's fouled back and out of play. So again, 7 of those 18 walks for Hauver have come in the course of 2 games. As Schartz is going to get the sign. Fires home. Swinging a high pop-up left side. This one's going to drift toward the highway again. And the third baseman, McCabe, can do nothing but just watch it sail. So Schartz has been really solid here through 3 1/3 innings. Giving up just 1 hit on the Servideo double. 0-0 in the top of the 4th, now the 2-2. Upstairs, Hauver thrusts the hands up a little bit to avoid the baseball, and it moves to 3-2 with 1 away. So still slight wind blowing out toward right center. And now Schartz will get the sign, the 3-2 offering. on the outside corner, strike 3. However, gives a slow walk back to the dugout for the second out of the inning. That'll transfer things to Hunter Goodman. Third strikeout for the right-hander Sharks.
Now, Hopper took a step out of the back of the left-handed batter's box as he looked like he was about ready to take the leg guard off and toss the bat and head down to first. But not to be, as home plate umpire Joe Caraco rings him up on the outside corner.
First pitch to Hunter Goodman misses down. It's 1-0. So this one has been an absolute pitcher's duel so far. Goodman will step out of the box. To scoreboard watch a little bit for the walk total, that is, in terms of Hopper's tied lead. So 1-0 comes into Goodman, fouled back. It's now 1-1. For the Chatham Anglers tonight, Jamal O'Gwyn is yet to walk. He's 0 for 1. Both those guys still tied here for base on balls in the Cape League. For Hunter Goodman, he leads in runs batted in at 22. Pitch from Sharts, swinging a ground ball up the middle to his left, the shortstop. Murray dives and can't get there. It trickles into center field. Goodman stands up at first, the second Hyannis hit of the night, and he keeps the top of the fourth alive for Jackson Olsen. So for Hunter Goodman, he's recorded hits in back-to-back games. He'll stand at first base, and Olsen, who didn't play last night, will step into the box, and he gets set to go. Sharts, the slide step, fires home, fastball up high. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. The Hyannis offense has kind of fallen away a little bit over the last pair of ball games. Just 3 runs in the last 2 games for the ball club after scoring 29 over the previous 3. Pitch to Olsen, down low, gets away from the catcher Avidia. Goodman taking off for second, throw comes in, and he's called safe with a head first dive. Tag applied just a bit late by Tanner Murray, and Hunter Goodman puts himself in scoring position with 2 away.
That ball looked like it was shot out of the cannon out of the arm of Avidia. That was an absolute bullet down to second base and made it a much closer play than perhaps Goodman anticipated.
So Olsen's got himself a 2-0 count. 2 away. 0-0 the score. Hyannis with 2 hits, Orleans with 4. Sharts looks at Goodman, now fires home. Fastball way inside, it's 3-0. So again, over the total course of the last week or so, this Harbor Hawks offense has really been stringing together some runs. Look back to the 2 games against the Bourne Braves, as well as out at Spillane Field against Wareham, where they dropped that contest, but put up 10 runs. On a 3-0, fastball at the bottom of the zone. It's 3 balls, 1 strike to the Hartford infielder Jackson Olsen. That game, 10 runs on 17 hits. But the Gatemen just outdid them a little bit. But a pitcher's battle last night, a pitcher's battle so far tonight. Now the 3-1, swinging a pop-up on the infield left side. Coming into foul ground, the third baseman McCabe toward the Hyannis dugout. He makes the grab. That ends the top of the 4th. Goodman with a 2-out single, advanced on a wild pitch, but stranded right there. For Hyannis in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Hyannis 0, Orleans 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Tanner Murray, Eddie McCabe, David Avidia, the 6, 7, 8 of the Orleans lineup set to come to the plate against the right-hander Cole Pletka. And the Dayton righty, who stands at 6'8", has thrown 3 scoreless frames up to this point. Murray will step into the box 0 for 1. But no question a pitcher's battle through the first 3.5 here from beautiful Eldridge Park in Orleans. The UC Davis infielder Murray taking a couple of extra seconds to dig into the box. He flips the bat underhand at the mound once as Pletka's ready to go, bends the knees, fires home. Fastball on the outside corner, it's 0-1. So Pletka's given up the 4 hits, all of them coming off singles. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Again, that wide stance from the righty on the mound. He'll fire home the 0-1, breaking ball fouled away. Count will run to 0-2. Pletka's going to get a new baseball, take a loop around the mound. For Cole, once again, his 4th appearance, first as a start for Hyannis in 2019. Murray, the hitter, came into today hitting .233. Pletka gets the sign from Hackenberg, fires home, breaking ball well in the dirt, chested up by the Clemson Tiger, Adam Hackenberg. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Pletka started the season out east with the Whitey Red Sox. So his second stint on Cape Cod this summer, this time coming with Hyannis, and it's been a much more lengthy one for him. He'll fire home the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Murray fans for the first out of the top of the 4th. It's the 4th punch out for the righty Cole Pletka, and that'll bring up Eddie McCabe with 1 away.
Well, you talk about Pletka earlier in the ballgame, Lyle, not having overpowering stuff with that fastball, but he's able to locate it quite well. As you mentioned, the 81 strikeouts in his school season, already 4 here tonight. He fanned Murphy there.
First pitch to the hitter, Eddie McCabe. That'll miss low. That's out in front of the plate again. 1 ball, no strikes. So once again, Cole Pletka, his second stint on Cape Cod. He made 1 appearance with the Whitey Red Sox. That came back on June the 15th at Veterans Field against the Chatham Anglers. So he bends his knees out of the windup the next offering. Called strike, and the count levels at 1-1. And he was really, really effective in that start. 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts. For a Chatham team that sits first in the East Division. Pitch from Pletka, ground ball left side to his right, Jordan Westberg. Backhands in the hole, fires to first. DeSantillo can't pick it out of the dirt, and safe at first base, Eddie McCabe. So Westberg moved to his right, made the backhanded stop, spiked it a little bit low, but DeSantillo just couldn't make the front hand pick on the other end. And McCabe reaches base for the second time tonight, segueing things to David Avidia.
Now, Westberg made a nice play to knock that ball down. Had to range over a few steps to his right and get it on the backhand. Threw off his back foot to DeSantillo at first. The throw was a bit low, but was manageable for DeSantillo at first base, just unable to come up with it.
So now the hitter, David Avidia out of Grand Canyon University. He's already struck out once. Pitch from Pletka, swing and a miss. So Pletka's got an 0-1 count. Once again, through 2 1/3 innings for Whitey, was really, really good in his 1 outing, but was later let go. Hyannis picked him right up, and he's been a valuable asset out of the bullpen ever since. Stretching the offering, swing and a miss from Avidia, and 0-2 with 1 down. Now, Whitey's had some struggles of their own on the pitching side. They've given up the 2nd most runs in the league at 126, so their bullpen has faltered at times. As Pletka's going to fire home. 0-2 fastball misses upstairs. Back pick from Hackenberg to first, but ruled safe on a dive. The runner, Eddie McCabe. Hackenberg, a good snap throw the other way to first base. But McCabe, who reached on that infield single, back with a head-first dive. So Pletka, here with Hyannis, once again his 4th appearance. And he's thrown 3 1/3 scoreless so far tonight. He's got a 1-2 count with 1 away, 0-0 the score. Pitch, swing and a miss. 5th strikeout on the night for Cole Pletka as he fans Avidia for the 2nd out of the bottom of the 4th. That'll bring up Shea Whitcomb. UC San Diego's second baseman had one of the Orleans hits back in the bottom of the second. Firebirds with 5. No extra base hits. Hyannis with 1. And that was an extra base hit from Anthony Servideo. 2 hits total for the Harbor Hawks as Pletka fires home a fastball. It's upstairs. So a deadlock here from Eldridge Park in the bottom of the 4th. And Hyannis hasn't been so prone to games like that so far this season. In fact, they've yet to combine for a shutout in 2019. As Pleka's going to fire home. This is low 2-0. So the pitching staff has yet to combine for any type of bagel against an opposing lineup. And additionally with that, they're just 1-11 against the East Division. They're 1 win coming in the second game of a doubleheader against the Harwich Mariners at home. But they have not won a game against the Eastern Division on the road yet this season. Pletka comes set the 2-0. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. But the Dayton righty Cole Pletka has given him a chance to do so. He's looked really sharp here in Orleans on the elbow of Cape Cod. Is getting a lead off of first, the runner Eddie McCabe being held on by DeSantolo. 2-1. On the inside corner, count evens at 2-2. This is the third of 4 games between the two ball clubs. This will be the final one at Orleans. These two are set to go off again tomorrow night. That time it'll be taking place at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Orleans leads the season series 2-0. 2-2 from Pletka. Swinging a high pop-up on the infield, towering to the right side. Servideo charging in, much like DeSantolo. Olsen calling everybody off. Slides over the mound. He can't make the grab. Moving up to third base, the runner Eddie McCabe. Safe at first will be the hitter Shea Whitcomb, and that'll flip the lineup back to the top for Jacob Hurtubise.
And that's got to be somebody else's ball there. Olsen had the furthest way to go coming from third base. Even if Jordan Westberg tried to make a play on that, he would have had a better shot than Jackson Olsen coming from third. He had to go up and over the mound and try to make a sliding basket catch as he fell to the grass on the left side of the hill. Just wasn't a feasible play, and he made a good effort, but ultimately for Orleans, another runner in scoring position.
First and third with 2 outs. Pitch to Hurtubise. He squares to bunt, puts it out in front of the plate. Hackenberg's going to field, fire to first. In time, inning over. So no harm, no foul there, as Adam Hackenberg, with a quick reaction, runs out in front of home plate, picks up the baseball with the bare hand, and fires a strike to DeSantolo at first. For Orleans in the inning, they put together no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on. We'll go to the top of the 5th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Six, 7, and 8 set to come to the plate for Hyannis here in the 5th inning. Jared DeSantolo, Mitch McIntyre, and Anthony Servideo, all 3 left-handed hitters due up against the starter from Nevada, Owen Schartz, who has worked a beauty to this point, as have both hurlers. On the flip side, Cole Pletka also working a shutout right now. Schartz has held Hyannis to just 2 hits on the board to this point as DeSantolo digs in. First pitch of the inning, fastball, a called strike right down Broadway, and it's 0-1. Just past the 8 o'clock hour here in Orleans. Coming from Eldridge Park, the 26th game of the season for Hyannis. Breaking ball into the dirt, count evens 1-1. Bit of a sparse crowd here on hand from Eldridge. Spread out throughout the hill That expands down the right field line past the Orleans dugout. 1-1 to DeSantolo. Fastball swung on into left field, falling fast, but not fast enough as Kokoska closes in on it and makes the grab for out number 1. So DeSantolo with a good piece of contact there, and that'll bring up Mitch McIntyre.
Yeah, DeSantolo gave that one a ride the other way, and like we've talked about, he's got some real ability to slap it to the opposite field, but Kokoska playing a little bit in and left right there, only had to move a step or two in, and just lined it up to make the grab.
So McIntyre digs in search of his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 1. Bounced out to Ray Gill down the first baseline in his first plate appearance. Seeing Sharks for the second time, waves and misses through a breaking ball for strike 1. And Lyle, I know you keep a list of your favorite ballparks every summer, and Eldridge Park, another beautiful one here on Cape Cod, and a pretty good crowd tonight. Mitch swings at the 0-1, pops it straight up into shallow center field. Coming on Hurtubise, he's under it and makes the grab. So a quick 2 up, 2 down for Sharks, who just continues to roll through this Hyannis lineup. That'll bring up Anthony Servideo.
You know, McIntyre got a little bit under that one, but back to Eldridge Park. Yeah, this place is beautiful. Not as many fans on hand as the last time Hyannis was here, as that was right before the 4th of July. That hill was packed. One of the cooler environments I've gotten to see on Cape Cod.
So Servideo steps in from the left side. Sharks out of the windup first pitch. Fastball at the knees, good for a strike. And you mentioned when we were here the first time, it was a few days before Independence Day, and the hill was absolutely jam-packed top to bottom, about 15 to 20 rows deep. Breaking ball missed up high. Count pulls even 1-1.
And that wasn't so much the case last year the first time I came here. It was during a doubleheader during the day.
Sharks next offering. Caught and a miss from Servideo. Picked out its spot at the top of the zone to the Nevada right-hander and got Servideo to go after it. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, back then it wasn't that packed, but before the 4th of July, it was gorgeous.
1-2 offering, misses upstairs. Jackknives Servideo back out of the box a couple of steps. The count evens at 2-2. Well, the first time we came here before the 4th was my first trip to Eldridge Park, and it was absolutely beautiful. 2-2. Servideo sends it in the air, a towering fly to center. Hurtubise coasting under it, backpedaling a few steps, makes the grab, and that ends the inning. So a quick 3 up, 3 down for Owen Sharks as he cruises through Hyannis in the 5th inning. Orleans back to the dish and a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. In a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park, Hyannis turns to the bullpen. It's the Minnesota right-hander Patrick Fredrickson on in relief of Cole Pleka, who worked 4 very strong innings. It's Patrick making his 6th appearance and 4th out of the pen. Comes in with a record of 0-1 and a 9.22 ERA. He'll face the 2-3-4 hitters in the Firebirds lineup looking to strike first here at home. Zach Britton, Max Troiani, and Ray Gill set to go against the Minnesota Guilford. The Britton steps in. 1 for 2 on the evening, a single and as well as a strikeout victim. Fredrickson pumps in a first pitch fastball with the letters a called strike. Now, Britton, one of 5 strikeout victims that Pleckett was able to rally up. And a bit of an interesting tactic, Lyle, from Coach Chad Gassman to pull Pleckett as he was throwing so well. A 1 breaking ball missed down.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Fredrickson, it's a guy that has some really good stuff. Of course, that unbelievable freshman year with Minnesota. But tonight, Pleckett was throwing the ball so well, but looks like his night's cut short a little bit early.
Fredrickson's 1-1. Fastball pumped upstairs, but missed just high. 2 balls and a strike. And Pleckett, in his first start on the Cape, turned in 4 really, really solid innings. Only walked 1, gave up 5 hits, and struck out 5. But Gassman opting to turn to Fredrickson as a breaking ball swept too far across the plate and down and in. And they count 3 balls and a strike. So we'll see what Patrick has in store for us here out of the bullpen. Last time we saw him was in Wareham on July the 7th. Worked 3 1/3 at Spillane Field. 3-1 pitch, big swing and a miss from Britton. Count fills up at 3-2. Fredrickson, tan glove in front of the face, and now time is called at the plate as Britton takes a step out. And in that game over the bridge in Wareham for Hyannis, there was an offensive shootout. One they dropped, however. 12-10 was the final score. Fredrickson 3-2. Chopper off the back of the plate, foul. And Fredrickson will get a new baseball and step back onto the rubber. Walked 3 and struck out 3 in that game against the Gatemen. And on the summer, on strikeout to walk ratio, just about even. 10 walks to 12 strikeouts. Giving up his fair share of hits. 24 is the number. The next payoff offering, here it comes. Fastball cut and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Patrick Fredrickson out of the bullpen. So the first batter he faces, and that'll bring up Max Troiani.
He looked good in that bat. Fredrickson pumping in some good fastballs, spotting it up well, and that one Britton just fans for the first out of the inning. So Fredrickson, at least so far, picking up where Pletka left off.
And in steps Max Troiani, a dangerous bat in the Orleans lineup. He's already 2 for 2 tonight. Seeing Fredrickson for the first time as he watches a fastball upstairs. And for Hyannis, you're at the point in the season where they were in some must-win games. As a swing and a miss over the top of a breaking ball went Troiani. Count evens 1-1. And for Pletka to throw the ball as well as he did, and for Fredrickson to come out of the bullpen a bit early in this ball game. We'll see if it pays off as a breaking ball missed down and away. 2-1 to the right-handed hitting Bentley product Troiani. Fredrickson has the ability to rack up multiple innings. Into his windup for a 2-1. Troiani chops at it, sends it down the first baseline foul past Ian Fair, who gave it a look. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes to Max, a .313 hitter entering the night. That average has since risen. Stands at .329 as he enters his 3rd plate appearance. Fredrickson looking for a strikeout on 2-2. The pitch, breaking ball upstairs. In the second full count, Patrick's worked himself into out of the bullpen. He was able to retire Zach Britton by way of the K. Going to do the same against Troiani, who's a pesky bat. The payoff pitch, fastball, ground ball towards second base. Servideo to his right, knocks it down, throw to first, a bit low, but dug out by Fair in time to get Troiani. So a nifty play from Anthony Servideo, ranging over to his right. Picked it up right off the dirt. Throw to Fair was a bit wide, but helped out by the 6'6" first baseman from Northeastern. And that'll bring up Ray Gill.
Servideo makes a nice play, but let's talk about what you just mentioned. Ian Fair, he's now in the game at first base. So DeSantillo comes out. Fair comes in. And a little interesting from Chad Gassman, not only does he pull Pletka, but he pulls his best average-wise hitter.
First pitch to Ray Gill in the air towards right field, sending Mosley back a couple steps. He lines it up as he coasts under it and makes the grab to end the inning. So Patrick Fredrickson out of the bullpen turns in a solid 5th inning. 3 up, 3 down, and he keeps Orleans off the boards. We're still scoreless. Hyannis back to the dish on the top of the 6th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis sends 9-1-2 to the plate in the 6th inning. Both teams looking for their first run on the board. It'll be Adam Hackenberg, Jordan Westberg, and Rigsby Mosley to try and get the job done for Hyannis in the top of the 6th. They'll face a new arm as Orleans has turned to the bullpen just like Hyannis did to Patrick Frederickson last time Orleans was at the dish. It's Angelo Smith, the left-handed southpaw at the University of Michigan, making his Cape League debut. Adam Hackenberg greets him rather rudely as he sends a single back right up the middle on the first pitch of the inning. So Hackenberg records his first hit of the night. The 5th on the evening. That'll bring up Jordan Westberg at the top of the order. Or rather, the 3rd of the night for Hyannis. Orleans with 5. Westberg steps in 0 for 2, looking for his first base knock. So Hyannis trying to rally here in the 6th inning against the southpaw from Michigan. First pitch, a fastball inside as Westberg raised the hands, but it picked out the top of the zone. And for Smith in 2019 with the Michigan Wolverines, 1-0 record of 4.60 ERA, worked 31 1/3 innings, primarily a bullpen guy. He fires a pitch to Westberg, breaking ball over the top of it. Foul tip back into the glove of Avidia, 2 strikes. Rigsby Mosley also 0 for 2. He awaits on deck. Westberg, who had been so hot in his first handful of games in a Hyannis uniform, looking to turn things around on the road here against the Firebirds after an 0 for 5 evening last night. Westberg sends the 0-2 pitch on the ground to third, to second for 1, back to Gill at first, not in time as Westberg beats it out. So Westberg went fishing down and out of the zone, sent one on the ground left side. McCabe picked it up, fired to second to retire Hackenberg. And Westberg showing some hustle down the first baseline. He advances 90 feet, so he's aboard safely for the first time this evening, and that'll transition things over to Rigsby Mosley. Lefty-lefty matchup as the right fielder for Hyannis steps in. First pitch, swing and a miss. Good off-speed delivery from Smith. And in 2019 for Smith, 39 strikeouts to 20 walks. And hits were a bit of an issue as he gave up his fair share, 34 in just 31 innings, as Mosley sends one foul just back in front of us. That one right off the screen in foul ground. Should have brought my glove to the ballpark. Would have had that one had this net not been here in front of us. Smith's working with an 0-2 count against Mosley. Second straight batter he's gone to an 0-2 count with as he winds and fires. Mosley taps one foul straight back. And for Rigsby on the summer, really starting to turn things around for himself. Although the average won't tell you that. Made a few pinch hit appearances and picked up the first triple of Hyannis this summer a couple of games ago. Batting here with the runner aboard. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Angelo Smith picks up his first strikeout on the Cape. And fans Rigsby Mosley doing so. That'll bring up Trevor Hauver. So Hauver steps in. This is his third plate appearance of the night. He's 0 for 2, trying to change his day around. 1 on and 2 down here in the Hyannis half of the 6th inning. Still scoreless. It's been a briskly played ball game from both sides up until this point. Angelo Smith trying to quiet down the Hyannis bats even further and keep them off the boards. Smith winds and fires, breaking ball outside. He's been working that slider in there. That's what he got Rigsby Mosley to fan with. Hauver's already struck out once. That was part of a great performance from the right-handed starter from Nevada, Owen Schartz. Smith steps off and looks back to the bag. The runner, Jordan Westberg. And again, this is one Hyannis is going to need to get. They're going to have to string together a few wins in a row if they want to try and climb out of the bottom of the Western Division and catch the Bourne Braves. They'll put themselves 9 points out in front of Hyannis as Hauver swings and lifts one foul left side out of play. It's been a rocky road, to say the least, for Hyannis. A lot of up and down ball games, and they picked up 2 over the Braves in 4th place over the weekend in a doubleheader. It's a strike down and away to Hauver. Smith pumped in a fastball low and outside corner. Bit of a frame job given by Avidia. Westberg off the bag at first. He has some speed. 1-2 pitch to Hauver into the dirt, knocked down, chested up by Avidia. No advance for Westberg at second as the catcher stared him back to the first base bag. So Hauber, who has been an absolute walk magnet. Pitchers want no part of him. Picked up 3 last night. Came within 1 pitch in his first plate appearance of doing so again. 2 strike offering missed down and away. So Hauber has worked himself into a full count, and again, 1 pitch away from drawing his 20th walk of the summer. Smith will step off as he calls time. Hauber's already back into the box as Westberg leads off of first. Nobody holding him on. Gill playing directly behind him, just a few steps in front of the outfield grass. 3-2 pitch. Swung on. Hauber lifts it in the air, deep center field. Chasing Hurtaby's back, but he gets there to make the grab on the move, and that retires the side. Hauber makes an 0 for 3 night. Angelo Smith with a rather clean debut on the Cape, and he keeps the game scoreless with his Firebirds bats coming back up in the bottom of the 6th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Patrick Fredrickson back to the hill for his 2nd inning in relief. Zach Kokoska, Tanner Murray, and Eddie McCabe will be the 3 to greet him here in the Orleans half of the 6th inning. 0-0 is our score from Eldridge Park. It's been a tightly contested ball game up until this point. The Orleans bats trying to strike here in the 6th inning and break our scoreless tie. Fredrickson into his motion. First pitch of the inning, a high fastball, but a called strike at the top of the zone. And for Fredrickson on the Cape this summer, alternated starts and relief appearances, but when he has come out of the bullpen, it's either been hit or miss. He's been up and down the majority of the summer as he fires an 0-1. Liner into left field. Trevor Hauber leaps up at the end to make the grab at the apex of the ball's high travel. And Kokoska set down out number 1 rather quickly. Sent one opposite field to left. Hauber came in on it. Looked like he might have overran it a little bit. Gave a slight hop to reel it in up over his cap. That'll bring in Tanner Murray. But getting back to Fredrickson for just a second, he worked a relief appearance at Chatham on June the 29th, who Hyannis will see this weekend for a home-and-home series at McKeon Park, as well as Veterans Field out in Chatham. First pitch, Murray squares to Bud, pulls it back. Pitch was called a ball low. And in that outing against Chatham, Fredrickson worked an inning, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, didn't walk anybody, didn't fan anybody as well. Murray back into his stance, a 1-0 pitch. Fastball, bit of a check swing, a half-hearted effort. Sends it straight back into the net. That pulls even a ball in his strike. And Fredrickson looking for another strong inning in relief. He worked a 1-2-3 5th inning. Trying to repeat that same fate here in the 6th inning. Breaking ball over the top of it, swung Murphy. Swung on and missed. And the count moves to 1-2. And Murray on the night has already struck out once. That was Cole Pleca's 4th strikeout. He wound up with 5 in the ballgame. Fredrickson's already got 1. He winds and fires. Strike 3 call. So Murray goes down for the 2nd out of the inning. Quickly 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring in Eddie McCabe. This game has been flying by. Time-wise and pitches-wise. Hurlers on the hill for both sides, not playing around. This game started just past 7 o'clock. First pitch to McCabe, breaking ball down and away. Eddie on the night has reached base twice. Singled in the 2nd inning, reached on an error, and was stranded at 3rd in the 4th. Fredrickson winds and fires. Fastball chopper left side foul past the 3rd base bag and by Jackson Olston. 1 ball and 1 strike for McCabe, who steps back in. A .226 hitter as he entered action tonight. Trying to pick up his second base knock for his Orleans ball club of the night. Breaking ball dropped in a beauty on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Fredrickson 1 pitch away from working a second 1-2-3 frame out of the bullpen. Patrick Brown glove in front of the face as he gets aside from Hackenberg. The 1-2. Fastball swing and a miss. Strike 3. Patrick Fredrickson, how about it? Gives a fist pump into the glove as he strides off the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts ends the Orleans half of the 6th inning. We'll go to the top of the 7th. Still scoreless from Eldridge Park on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hunter Goodman, Jackson Olson, and Jared DeSantalo against the left-hander Angelo Smith, making his second inning on the Cape Cod League. He worked a clean 6th inning, gave up 1 single to Adam Hackenberg, but retired him on a fielder's choice, and then worked a clean rest of the way as he's back for more in the 7th. Hunter Goodman, first man to greet him. He swings and fouls back at first pitch fastball. It's 0-1. Couple of minutes shy of 8:30 here in Cape Cod. This game started at 6:59 was first pitch. As time is called at the plate, Goodman steps out before quickly resetting himself. We're already here in the 7th inning. And a scoreless ball game from Eldridge Park. Goodman watches a breaking ball high and wide. The count evens. And Lyle, we saw a pitcher's duel last night in Bourne. That game was deadlocked at 2-2 for a couple of frames before Bourne eventually took the lead and hung on to win it as Goodman swings and misses through a breaking ball off speed. The count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes as he steps out and adjusts the gloves. But a couple of quickly paced games the last couple of nights for Hyannis. Both of them coming on the road. 1-2 from Smith, breaking ball in the dirt. Chested up by Avidia, who popped up out of the crouch to go get it. The count pulls even to Goodman, who on the night, 1 for 2, singled in the 4th inning. And popped one up the elevator shaft to the man that rests behind him, Avidia, as he comes out of the crouch again to corral a high fastball from Smith. Count swells to 3-2. Goodman trying to pick up the 4th hit of the night for Hyannis. Payoff delivery. Breaking ball, chopped foul right side. Down past the Orleans dugout. A kick save by a member of the Orleans ball club. Goodman steps back in and count stays full. We'll do it again. Smith picked up 39 strikeouts in 2019 as a member of the Michigan Wolverines. Can't get one here, however. He surrenders his first walk in an Orleans uniform. Hunter Goodman heads down to first. He's aboard for the 2nd time tonight. That starts things off well for Hyannis in the 7th.
Well, Hunter works a really good count there. He swung at one in the dirt earlier in the at-bat, let one lay off right there for the final pitch, and like that, that's his 2nd walk of the summer.
I was about to say, are you thinking what I'm thinking? That is a rarity for Hunter Goodman, the Memphis Tiger. Walked just once through his first multitude of plate appearances. Now he's caught in a rundown between 1st and 2nd. Snap throw back to 1st, but he's called safe. He slides in under the tag. Avidia gunned one down to Gill at 1st. He tried to apply the tag on the backhand to the back shoulder of Hunter Goodman. Slides back into 1st. Goodman hesitated on the pitch. He was about halfway in between 1st and 2nd. And able to scamper back to the bag, and fortunate for Hyannis. As Jackson Olson dealing with a 0-1 count. Fastball chopped right side again as it trickles toward the Orleans dugout. 2 strikes on Jackson Olson, who's 0 for 2 on his evening. Came in a .298 hitter tonight. Batting here with a runner aboard and nobody out in the Hyannis 7th. Lefty-lefty matchup as Smith winds and fires. Breaking ball again off the end of the bat, foul straight back. Well, the count stays at 0-2 to Jackson Olsen. Getting his first start in quite some time. He's made a few pinch hit appearances over the course of the last couple of games. Dealing here against Smith. He's ready for an 0-2. Fastball upstairs in the zone, popped up left side. That will drift back onto the highway, out of play. Jackson Olsen went after one high and tight in the zone, able to fight it off and stay alive. Hunter Goodman, who drew his second walk of the summer, short lead off the bag at first. Smith gives him a look, now comes home on 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jackson Olsen goes down for the third time tonight. He's 0 for 3. Jared DeSantelo steps in. Or Ian Fair, my apologies. DeSantelo was subbed out as a defensive replacement. Ian Fair stepped in at first. So the Northeastern product will get his first cuts of the night. Seeing Angelo Smith for the first time. He watches a fastball inside out of the glove of Avidia, slightly to the left of the home plate area. Hunter Goodman aboard at first base. Ian Fair will step back into the box. He's got a 1-0 count. Smith, left arm dangling as he gets a sign from Avidia. Comes set, kicks and fires. High fastball. Goodman well off the bag at first again as he scampers back. 2 balls and no strikes the count to the Northeastern Husky Ian Fair. Ian went 3 for 3 last night at Bourne. He's really put together some pretty nice games since his return on his second stint with Hyannis in 2019. Cut and a miss through a breaking ball. Got moved to 2-1. But Fair really starting to prove himself here on Cape Cod, and shows that he belongs here with Hyannis. His second time around in an orange and blue uniform. Smith set, now comes home. Over the top of another breaking ball. He buried one in the dirt that time. Got Fair to go after it. And the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jared DeSantelo went 0 for 2 on his night. Fair taking his place in the right-handed batter's box with a 2-strike count against Smith. The offering in the air to left field. Ranging back, the left fielder Kakaska. He gets there to make the grab. And Hunter Goodman back to first. 2 down in the inning for Mitch McIntyre. Or another pinch hitter, Bryce Teodosio comes up off the bench. So Teodosio, another guy, been doing it with the bat over the course of the last couple of appearances he's made for Hyannis. But last night, stole the show with the glove in center field. Just an unbelievable effort in right center field. It was a sinking liner off the bat of Kyler Fedko. Full out sprint. Teodosio got a good read off of it, laid out full extension and made the dive and took one off the carpet. He steps in with the bat trying to see what he can do. Runner aboard, Hunter Goodman at first, 2 down in the inning, trying to extend the Hyannis part of the 7th inning. First pitch, a breaking ball over the top of it for a strike. Smith has really worked a good off-speed delivery. Making his Cape League debut with the Orleans Firebirds here in 2019. Comes at home at Eldridge Park. Orleans trying to climb up the East Division standings. Teodosio, half-hearted swing. Again, misses through a breaking ball, 0-2. And Lyle Bryce's catch last night, probably one of the best I've ever seen, at least. Definitely one of the best I've seen here on Cape Cod. But Bryce has made more than one highlight reel play this summer. Climbed the wall at McKeon Park back in June. Took a home run back. Hunter Goodman takes off for second. Teodosio swings off the inside part of the bat. A hop to Whitcomb. Throw to first. A bit low, but dug out by Gill in time to retire the side. So Teodosio unable to come up with anything in a pinch hit appearance, and Hyannis strands 1 aboard. Still scoreless with the Firebirds coming up in the bottom of the 7th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
David Avidia, Shea Whitcomb, and Jacob Hurtubise, the three due to the plate for the Firebirds in the bottom of the 7th. As the right-hander Patrick Fredrickson's back on the mound, he's worked 2 scoreless innings. As this game's deadlocked at 0-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch from Fredrickson's a fastball high. And Fredrickson has been cruising in his relief outing. 6 up, 6 down, 3 strikeouts. As he goes to the windup, fires home. Fastball, that misses just away. 2-0, the count to the Grand Canyon University product, David Avidia. He's got a pair of strikeouts today, both coming at the courtesy of Cole Pletka. Offering comes in from Fredrickson, misses inside. 3-0 the count. The two teams have combined for 8 hits so far in the ballgame. No runs have come across. Now the 3-0 from the Minnesota Gopher misses down and he loses Avidia to a 4-pitch walk. Ball got back behind the catcher Hackenberg into the backstop, but Avidia is not going to go anywhere farther than first base. So leadoff man aboard for Orleans. That'll bring up Shea Whitcomb, right-handed hitter out of UC San Diego. Firebirds have 4 straight right-handed hitters to end the bottom half of their lineup. Troiani and Ray Gill, the 3-4 hitters, hit from the right side. Then the final 4 hitters hit from the right side. So Fredrickson's going to work into the stretch. He hides the ball behind his back. Now he's going to come set. Takes a breath. And he fires over to first, tag applied by Fair, but back safely the runner David Avidia. So Hyannis in search of their 6th win of the summer. It's been an absolute pitcher's duel so far here tonight. Owen Schartz and Cole Pletka, the starters for each respective side, absolutely worked it, and then the bullpens have been pretty effective as well. Squares to bunt is the hitter Whitcomb. That's popped down the first base line foul. But Fredrickson's gone 2 scoreless innings. Smith's gone 2 scoreless innings for the Firebird squad. So now in a battle of bullpens, Hyannis looks to do something that hasn't come too easily to him in 2019 and win the duel on the mound. They rank last in almost every major pitching category, but they've been in a pitcher's duel the last 2 nights with the arms starting to improve. Fredrickson out of the stretch fires home to Whitcomb. Fastball at the bottom of the zone as he showed bunt, couldn't tap it in fair play, and the count will move to 0-2 with nobody away. So Fair holding on the runner at first, that's Avidia. Olsen playing in with the bag at third base, and the middle infielder's pretty much straight up. Firebirds still without an extra base hit tonight. Hyannis with 3 hits, won the extra base hit for Servideo as Fredrickson tosses the ball on a B move to first. Back with a head first dive, the runner David Avidia. So the Firebirds have won 2 in a row after losing 6 straight. They lost 6 straight games before their previous 2 victories. Fredrickson checks the runner and now fires the 0-2. Whitcomb squares the bunt. He puts it out in fair play down the first base line. Hackenberg picks up, fires to first in time. An inside throw. Fair had to give a little bit of an acrobatic to stretch across and pull the ball back in time. But a successful 2-strike, 2-3 bunt put down by the hitter Shea Whitcomb. That'll advance Avidia to second base and transfer the lineup back to the top to Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder out of Army. Hurtubise today 0 for 3. He attempted a bunt with 2 outs in the 4th, but Hackenberg, much like he did a minute ago, fired to first to retire the hitter. Fredrickson looks over at second, now a second time. One more, and now time's going to be called by Hurtubise. So in their last win, as time's going to be called, Hackenberg's going to run out to the mound. Once again, Orleans has won 2 straight. They downed Harwich 3-2 yesterday. And then they took down the Brewster Whitecaps 6-3 at home back on Tuesday. In that game yesterday, however, against Harwich, Orleans just really did a good job keeping the Mariners off the scoreboard. Harwich has not been an explosive offense this summer. And Orleans and their pitching staff really capitalized on it. Fredrickson's going to look at the runner come home. Breaking ball, that'll miss low. That's a called strike, rather. 0-1. But looking back to their win 2 nights ago against the Brewster Whitecaps, Adam Seminaris got the start, but the story was what came after that. 1-0 from Patrick Fredrickson, swinging a ground ball right at the shortstop Westberg. Fields out in front, throws a cross low throw, but picked out by Ian Fair. And there's 2 down. No advance from the runner Avidia at second. And that'll bring up Zach Britton, looking to give Orleans their first run of the day. So Britton the hitter. Once again, Firebirds, after losing 6 in a row, are rolling again after winning 2 straight. And back to that slump buster against Brewster. Isaac Escada, the left-hander out of USC, threw 6 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Adam Seminaris went 3 innings, giving up 3 runs, but Escada absolutely slammed the door. Now the pitch from Fredrickson misses down to Zach Britton. It's 1-0. 6 innings, 3 hits, didn't give up a walk. He struck out 8. And he went the rest of the way for Orleans as they picked up that 6-3 win here at Eldridge Park against the Whitecaps. Fredrickson comes set right at the belt. Now he rocks and deals the 1-0. Swinging a foul back from the hitter Britton, the count levels. So the Firebirds really had a bit of a skid back last week. Again, losing those 6 straight. Their last win before that losing streak started was here at Eldridge Park against Hyannis in that 7-5 victory back on July the 2nd. They were up 7-0. Hyannis started to chip away, but couldn't do it all the way to tie the game. As the pitch from Fredrickson's a breaking ball that's dropped in for a strike. Count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. But Orleans, a team that's been anchored by their pitching staff most of the summer. They came into the day with a .334 team ERA that ranks 3rd. They've won 2 in a row, looking to make it a 3rd. It's 0-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch from Fredrickson, swing and a miss. The Minnesota Gopher fans Avidia. That's his 4th strikeout of the night. And through 7 innings, it's 0-0 between the East Division Orleans Firebirds and the West Division Hyannis Harbor Hawks. For Orleans in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the 8th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Anthony Servideo, Adam Hackenberg, and Jordan Westberg, the 3 due to the plate in the top of the 8th inning against the left-hander Angelo Smith back on the mound for the Firebirds. He fires the first pitch home. It's down low, off speed, 1-0 to Servideo. Anthony's 1 for 2 today. Doubled in the 3rd, flew out to center field back in the 5th. Now the 0-1 comes in. That misses low. 2 balls, no strikes the count. Angelo Smith has a bit of a deceptive delivery from the left side. He rocks that left leg up, or rather the right leg, as he comes home. Fastball misses high, 3-0. He'll raise that front leg, turn his body almost all the way back towards second base. And it's a bit of a sidewinder as well. 3-0. Fastball hits the top of the zone. It's 3-1. And he hides the ball for a really long time, too, behind his back. He'll hide it, turn toward second base, and then fire out of a 3/4 arm slot as he fires home. Servideo fouls it back again. It's 3-2. Honestly, not even sure you can really call it 3/4. It's a little bit lower than that. It's not quite sidearm. It's maybe a little bit in between. 3-2, ground ball right at the first baseman, Gill. Comes in, fields it cleanly, and steps on the bag for the first out. So Angelo Smith retires the hitter Servideo for the first out of the top of the 8th. That'll bring up Adam Hackenberg, who singled in his last at bat. Hackenberg 1 for 2. He struck out and once again singled, but now Kelly Nicholson, the Orleans manager, is going to come to the mound and potentially take the ball from the left-hander Smith. Yeah, he's going to do so. So Angelo Smith, 2 1/3 scoreless innings, gives up just 1 hit, and he'll exit right there. A very, very fine day out of relief for the Michigan left-hander. Orleans will put a new reliever into the game on the other side of the break. And with 1 out in the top of the 8th, it's Hyannis nothing, Orleans nothing. We'll be back in just a minute on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Adam Hackenberg steps to the plate with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. And with that, the right-hander Jeffrey Pramel out of Southern New Hampshire comes into the game for the Firebirds. Pramel rocks and deals the first pitch. It's a breaking ball high. The count 1-0. Pramel making his 10th appearance of the summer. He's thrown 9 innings with an ERA right at 2. Walked 5, struck out 6 as he fires home the 1-0. Breaking ball swing and a miss from Hackenberg. And Pramel served as the team's closer this summer as well. 4 saves for the Firebirds. So he's really racked it up in that category so far. This is his 2nd time on the year facing Hyannis. Pitch to Hackenberg, swing and a miss, and the count runs to 1-2. The last time he faced the Harbor Hawks, he went 1 inning back on June the 19th, the first of 4 times these teams squared off. Of course, this is the 3rd of 4 matchups tonight, but he went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, no runs. Now he fires home the next pitch, swing and a miss from Hackenberg. That sends him down for out number 2. So Hackenberg gone. It'll flip things back to the top for Jordan Westberg. And this is the guy you want to have up at the plate if you want to get a rally started. And Westberg looking to bust out of what's been a very mini slump himself. He's currently 0 for his last 9 as Pramel fires home. Fastball inside, taken for a strike on the corner. So Owen Shart's 5 scoreless innings tonight, 2 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. As Pramel comes set, fires home. Breaking ball swung on and waved at by Jordan Westberg. It's 0-2. Angelo Smith came on to throw 2 1/3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. He walked 1, struck out 2. Of course, didn't give up any runs. But Pramel, the 3rd man into the game for Orleans tonight, as it's 0-0 in the top of the 8th. 0-2 to Westberg, swung on and fouled back. He stays alive. Chases at a fastball right at the letters, but protecting with 2 and anything close to keep his at bat, going against the righty Pramel from Southern New Hampshire. Westberg puts the right hand to the top of his helmet, now into his stance. Pramel sets below the belt, comes home, swinging a fly ball out to center field, coasting over to his left Hurtubise. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the grab to end the inning. So 1, 2, 3 go the Harbor Hawks in the top of the 8th. Angelo Smith starts it. Pramel comes in to record the final 2 outs. And through 7.5 frames, it's 0-0 at Eldridge Park. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on for Hyannis in the top of the 8th. And we'll go to the bottom of the frame when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Max Troiani, the designated hitter out of Bentley, set to come to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 8th with the righty Patrick Fredrickson back on the mound for Hyannis. The righty gets the sign from Hackenberg. He'll come home to breaking ball that misses way up high. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Heart of the Orleans lineup coming to the plate in the frame. Troiani will be followed by Ray Gill and Zach Kokoska. Next pitch from Fredrickson, swing and a miss, and the count evens up. So Jeffrey Pramel came into the game to get the final 2 outs against Hyannis in the top of the 8th. Troiani, now the hitter, looking to get the Firebirds started on offense in the bottom of the frame. Fredrickson gets the sign, he'll fire home the 1-1. That misses down, 2-1 the count. Appeal down to first, but he doesn't go around. And funny enough, Troiani and Pramel, teammates here this summer, but have a little bit of a connection dating back to their school ball. The 2-1, swinging a ground ball left side to the third baseman Olson, but he lets it go foul just to the left of the third base bag, and the count runs to 2-2. So again, the connection between those two, Pramel and Troiani. When Bentley faced off with Southern New Hampshire earlier in the school year, that was probably the best game Troiani had all season, or it's no question the best game he had all season. 3 home runs in 1 game when Bentley squared off against Southern New Hampshire. He had 9 home runs in his season at Bentley. 3 came in that 1 game. But Pramel came on to close it out as Southern New Hampshire actually went on to win that contest. 2-2. Swinging a pop-up foul. That'll coast out of play down toward the hill. So Troiani didn't get a chance to face Pramel. But 3 home runs against Southern New Hampshire in what was his best game of his 2019 season. Now 2-2 the count. Fredrickson gets the sign, winds and fires. Fastball misses away. The count runs full. And both those guys have just had fantastic summers coming from small schools, but playing in the most prestigious summer league there is. Troiani comes into the at-bat hitting .325. Pitch from Fredrickson, swinging a ground ball up the middle, off Fredrickson's glove. Servideo backhands, throws across his body, but it's over the head of fair. Troiani around the bag at first, he's thinking 2. Throw to second from Hackenberg. They've got him nailed. Tag applied by Westberg, and down goes Troiani. So Hackenberg, a great job trailing down the first base line, went to back up the first baseman fair. Ball sailed over his head as Servideo moved to his right, made the backhanded stop running towards second, tried to throw across his body, but airmailed it. It went over Fair's head at first. Hackenberg backed it up, picked up the baseball, and fired a strike to Westberg at second, to absolutely hose Hyannis for the first out. Now it'll be Ray Gill, the hitter, who swings away and sends one down the right field line fairly deep, tailing toward the corner, and it's foul. Just to the right of the foul pole, and it's 0-1. My goodness, Ray Gill gave that one a ride. That would have been long gone if it had hooked inside the pole. But it sails just to the right, and it's just a long strike to make it 0-1. So Ray Gill, 3 home runs on the season. That leads the Firebirds as he watches a breaking ball hit the outside part of the plate. It's 0-2. But once again, back to Hyannis and Pramel. Hyannis will be given a single and then thrown out, trying to go to second. Fredrickson's ready with the 0-2. Swinging a high fly ball into right center field. Playable for Teodosio, who's come into the game. He shifts over to his left, makes the catch in the gap, 2 away. Well, Bryce, of course, came in the previous inning to replace McIntyre, but that was his first action, as he just had to cruise over to make the catch in the gap for the second out. But one more time, Hyannis and Pramel. Max, after that single, which was his 3rd hit of the night before he was thrown out, his average is now all the way back to 333. But meanwhile, for Pramel, 9 appearances. This is his 10th appearance, 9 before this with 4 saves. Now the pitch to the hitter as Kokoska fouls it off. So Pramel has been fantastic on Cape Cod from the pitcher's mound. Hyannis has been absolutely fantastic from the offensive side of the plate, and both squared off in their school seasons. Now the next pitch, swing and a miss, it's 0-2. 0-0 the score in the bottom of the 8th. The starters dazzled for both sides. The relievers have dazzled for both sides. Fredrickson's putting together what is to this point his best outing of the summer. As he looks in at the catcher, Hackenberg deals the 0-2. Here it comes. Down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So again, Hyannis, infield single, then thrown out as Hackenberg trailed the runner and threw him out at second base. And Ray Gill flied out to center field. 1-2 from Fredrickson, swing and a miss at the top of the zone, strike 3. Patrick Fredrickson, his 5th strikeout of the night as the Minnesota right-hander's gone 4 scoreless after taking over for Cole Pletka. Through 8 innings of play, it is still scoreless at Eldridge Park. Hyannis 0, Orleans 0. For the Firebirds in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the 9th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Rigsby, Mosley, Trevor Hauver, Hunter Goodman, the 2-3-4 coming to the plate in the top of the 9th. It's deadlocked at 0 from Eldridge Park in Orleans with Southern New Hampshire right-hander Jeffrey Pramel back on the mound as he continues to work in his relief appearance. From the stretch, fires home to Mosley. Weak wave and a tip back in and out of the glove of the catcher Avidia. It's 0-1. Once again, Pramel came on to get the final 2 outs in the 8th inning after taking over for Angelo Smith, who went 2 1/3 innings of relief. Rigsby today, 0 for 3, in search of his first hit. Hyannis is a team with just 3. Offering from Pramel, swing and a high fly ball, medium depth center field. Moving to his left, Hurtubise. He'll line it up, and he puts it away for the first out. That'll bring up Trevor Hauver with 1 away. And these teams just continue to go tick for tack on the mound.
And it's been unbelievable how well both pitching sides have gone toe-to-toe tonight. It's really been quite the spectacle to see on the mound tonight. The bats just have no answer.
The Trevor Hauver now the hitter. He's 0 for 3, looking to pick up his first hit. Pramel fires home. Fastball low, it's 1-0. Well, you know, Brendan, Kelly Nicholson, sitting from his spot in the first base dugout, closest to us, watching on, as Pramel's going to come set, and he fires home. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes the count. And this game has some fair significance to him. As if Orleans picks up this win, Kelly Nicholson will record his 350th win as a Firebirds manager. Pramel fires home the 2-0. It hits the zone, and the count moves to 2-1. So Orleans on the season 13-10-2. Kelly Nicholson sitting with 349 wins in his tenure as the Firebirds skipper. Pramel fires home. That hits the top of the zone, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Hauver. What a cool accomplishment that would be for Nicholson when eventually he gets there. Tonight, Hyannis looking to hold it off a little bit more. It's 0-0 with 1 out. 2-2 to Hauver. Here comes the pitch. Swinging a foul back, and the count stays that way. It's pretty impressive. Kelly Nicholson has had sustained success in his time as a Firebirds manager. 2-2 to Hauver, misses upstairs. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. So Hauver looking to issue his first walk of the day. Pramel comes set, delivers the 3-2. Up high, and he loses them. Trevor Hauver, his 19th walk of the summer, as he jogs down to first base, and it'll bring up Hunter Goodman with 1 away.
And these pitchers, again, staying away from Hauver and drawing his 19th walk of the summer, like he mentioned. He came in tied for first with walks on the 2019 campaign. Draws another one there, and the right man to the plate in Hunter Goodman, the RBI leader.
First pitch, swinging a foul back over the press box behind home plate. So to scoreboard watch again. Looking at Chatham and Falmouth, the score in that game as a whole is 11-2 Commodores. But Jamal O'Gwen has not walked today. So with that walk, Hauver becomes the Cape leader in base on balls. It's 0-1 to Goodman. Pramel comes home. Breaking ball misses up high. And you know, additionally, Brendan, not only is Kelly Nicholson chasing history tonight with 350, but Orleans is looking to pick up a significant win that has some meaning dating back to last year. Pitch to Goodman, fly ball deep down the left field line. Looking back, Kokoska, forget about it. A bat flip from Hunter Goodman as he punches his 5th home run of the summer, and Hyannis goes out 2-0 in the top of the 9th inning. Wow, that ball got out of here in a hurry as Goodman gets a big high five from Chad Gassman at third, steps on the plate, and the Harbor Hawks go out 2-0 in the top of the 9th.
That is light tower power at its finest. Hunter Goodman torching one to deep left field, and we talked about the no doubt home run that he had at McKeon Park about a week ago. That one, again, off the bat, you just knew it was gone. That one sailing over the left field wall and gives Hyannis the lead late.
Now Olsen, the hitter. He watches the first pitch up high. My goodness, Hunter Goodman. 5th home run. RBIs number 23 and 24. As the pitch comes in, that'll miss away. 2 balls, no strikes. So Hyannis, a 2-0 lead in the top of the 9th over the Firebirds. Hunter Goodman absolutely unloads on a ball down the left field line. The next offering comes in, it's pop foul. So Jeffrey Pramel, who has been wildly effective all summer long for Orleans, gives up a dagger of a 2-run bomb to Goodman in the 9th. Olsen, knees bent from the left side. The pitch misses away, and the count moves to 3-1. Meanwhile, for Orleans, they're chasing their 14th win. That's as many as they had all of last season. Pramel's going to come home. Olsen swings away and chops one foul right side. That gets into the first base coaching box. The last year for the Firebirds finished with a record of 14-29-1. fifth in the East Division. It's been a much different story this year. They sit in third place. The pitch to Olsen comes in, called strike 3. So Olsen punches out for the second out of the inning. And it'll bring up Ian Fair with nobody on and 2 away. So Fair, the hitter, he's looking to extend the inning. But for the Firebirds, just 14 wins. They had a playoff spot in the East Division for a lot of the season last year, but Brewster came on at the end to take it from him. Fair swings away, lines one up the middle, a base hit. Ian Fair just continues to swing Ian Fair just continues to flat out rake the baseball as he picks up a 2-out hit in the top of the 9th to bring up Bryce Teodosio. And Kelly Nicholson's seen enough. He's going to go to the bullpen. So the night will end for Jeffrey Pramel. A 2-run missile from Hunter Goodman has put Hyannis out to a 2-0 lead here at Eldridge Park in Orleans. Right-hander coming in from the bullpen. We'll have that for you when we come back on the other side of the break. In the top of the 9th, it's Hyannis 2, Orleans 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bryce Teodosio stepping to the plate with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Hyannis out to a 2-0 lead, courtesy of a 2-run blast from Hunter Goodman. And with that, Orleans brings in the right-hander Nick Garcia out of Chapman University for his 10th appearance. He's so far thrown 9 innings, an ERA right at 5, 6 walks to 9 strikeouts. As he works from the stretch with Fair at first, he fires home, swing and a miss from Teodosio. So Hyannis has shot themselves out to a 2-run advantage in the 9th. It was scoreless through the first 8. But Hunter Goodman breaks a 0-0 deadlock with his 5th home run of the season. As Garcia is going to fire home, Teodosio swings and taps one back into the mid of Avidia. Count will move to 0-2. Orleans was hoping to pick up their 4th win of the season. They'll still have a chance to do so in the bottom of the 9th. They'll be sending their 6, 7, and 8 guys to the plate. But Teodosio flips the bat out at the mound once. He's now into his stance, choking up. The stretch in the offering from Garcia. Tap foul back off the screen. Well, once again, Orleans 14-29-1 in 2018. They're looking for win number 14 to tie that total in their 26th game of the summer in 2019. Hyannis, however, is 3 outs away from closing it out, and this would be a big one tonight. Fair a lead off of first. Garcia fires home. Swing and a miss from Teodosio. He punches out. That ends the top of the 9th. But the damage has been done. A 2-run bomb from Hunter Goodman puts Hyannis out to a 2-0 advantage going to the bottom of the 9th inning. And Hyannis looks to close it out on the other side of the break. In the inning, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We'll be back in just a minute for the bottom of the 9th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Three outs to go as Hyannis looks for their 6th win of the 2019 summer and their first against the Orleans Firebirds. And on to close it out, the left-hander Trevor DeLate out of the University of Maine. He's making his 2nd appearance of the summer, his first in relief as he's set to face the 6, 7, 8 of Tanner Murray, Eddie McCabe, and David Avidia. Murray today 0 for 3. He's going to dig in from the right side. But DeLate comes on after 4 scoreless innings from Patrick Fredrickson. The lefty's going to work directly out of the stretch. Slide steps home. Fastball low, it's 1-0. So after 4 scoreless innings from Cole Pletka, Patrick Fredrickson came into the game through 4 scoreless, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk. He struck out 5. DeLate, the lefty, fires home the 1-0, swing and a miss, and the count will level. So for Trevor DeLate, he threw 34 innings in his school season, 21 appearances, all out of the bullpen. Went 1-2 with a 2.12 ERA. Also racked up 7 saves. He gets the sign from Hackenberg, the 1-1, swinging a foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to the UC Davis product, Tanner Murray. For Hyannis, they've had just 1 save as a team this season. That came from Nolan Crisp. He's a guy that ranked top 10 in the SEC in saves in his freshman season. Now the 1-2 from DeLate. Swinging a tapper on the ground, foul. That got just behind home plate and under the legs of Hackenberg. So Tanner Murray will keep the at-bat alive at 1-2. DeLate often flashes a fastball breaking ball combo. He made a start back against the Wareham Gatemen earlier in the week, but relieving is his strong suit. 1-2 misses high. 10 walks to 41 strikeouts for the lefty DeLate, who just finished his junior year at Maine in his 2019 season. It's 2-0 Hyannis in the top of the 9th, nobody away. 2-2. Swing and a ground ball foul left side. Some Let's Go Firebirds chants hailing from down the right field line up on the hill at Eldridge Park. Orleans looking to chip away at a 2-run deficit in their last licks of the night. Hunter Goodman's 2-run bomb, the difference maker right now. That was the go-ahead shot back in the top of the 9th. Infield back. DeLate comes set at the letters. Offering. Swing and a pop-up foul. Tanner Murray putting together a lengthy at-bat, and he keeps the count the same way at 2-2.
And DeLate's trying to go inside on the last couple of pitches, but Murray keeping his hands inside the baseball and just getting a piece of the last couple to stay alive.
A slight wind blowing out toward right center, with Murray flipping the bat toward the mound. 2-2. Swinging a pop-up foul, out of play. That gets to the hill on the right side. But Murray not going away quietly. There's no question about it. He's going to step out of the box as he now digs his way back in. Right foot in first, now the left. He taps the plate twice and wiggles the bat out toward DeLate on the mound. 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Swing and a tapper left side. Westberg charging in. Fields fires on the run. In time to fair, and there's one away. Nice play by Jordan Westberg, charging in at shortstop. Fielded it with 2 hands and an extra assistance from his bare hand to corral it in the glove. That made a strong throw across his body on the run from just behind the mound, a little bit low, but Fair makes the grab for the first out.
And Ian Fair has really paid dividends since coming into the ballgame defensively as well as offensively with the bat, but specifically right there on that throw from Westberg, it was a bit low. Fair's had to go down and grab a couple, but right there, an important first out.
DeLate's ready with the first offering to Eddie McCabe. It's a fastball at the knees called strike. McCabe's going to be a tough out. He's 2 for 3 already today. He is not going to go away quietly either. 2 singles, also a strikeout swinging. That came in his last at bat in the 6th. 0-1. Fastball low, and the count evens. So DeLate looking to lock down a 2-0 Harbor Hawk win. 1-1 count. Pitch incoming. Breaking ball slapped to the left side, right at Westberg. Fields cleanly, fires across. In time, 2 away. The back-to-back 6-3 putouts for the left-hander Trevor DeLate in the top of the 9th. And the final hope for Orleans rests on the bat of David Avidia. And rather, it's going to be Rob Emery who's going to pinch hit for Avidia. So Avidia, the catcher out of San Francisco, is going to come in to pinch hit. And to look at the Cape Cod scoreboard, none looming larger than out at Spillane Field, Wareham winning 4-2 over the Bourne Braves. So Hyannis with a chance to make up the ground they failed to do yesterday. At least get back to where they stood before yesterday's play at Doran Park. Pitch from DeLate. Breaking ball called strike. It's 0-1. And a lot resting on this game for Hyannis. Looking to hold off the 350th win for Kelly Nicholson. Looking to pick up their first road win against an Eastern Division team this season. DeLate's got an 0-1 count. He's ready with the offering. Down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hyannis has also yet to shut out any team this summer. And they're 1 out away from doing it. 4 scoreless innings from Pletka. 4 scoreless from Patrick Fredrickson in relief. Now the 1-1 from DeLate. In the dirt, swing and a miss. And Rob Emery's down to his final strike. So Emery's going to take a loop around the batter's box. Adjust the Velcro from his batting gloves. DeLate already ready to go. He's got his front foot in front of the other. Glove down on his front leg as he stares down Hackenberg, now gets the sign. Here's the stretch, and the 1-2 on the way. Down low, and the count evens at 2-2. Infield all straight up. Jackson Olsen a little bit toward the line at third, playing a no doubles defense. 2-2 the count. Hyannis leading 2-0 in the top of the 9th. Pitch. Just down low, and the count runs to 3 balls, 2 strikes. A borderline pitch right there from DeLate. Just couldn't quite get the call.
And that is a tough one to take if you're Emery. Fastball about knee high. You know it's going to be close, but a stone cold take to fill the count.
Now the 3-2 incoming. Swinging a tap back into the glove. That'll do it. And for the first time in 2019, the Hyannis pitching staff hurls a shutout as the Harbor Hawks pick up a win on the road against the Orleans Firebirds 2-0. Win number 350 held off for now for Kelly Nicholson as Hyannis grabs their 6th win of the summer.
And this one all around, pitching-wise, an outstanding performance. Cole Pleka, Patrick Fredrickson combined for 8 shutout innings, and Trevor DeLate comes in to slam the door on the Firebirds' comeback hopes tonight. Hyannis picks up their 6th win of the season and a much-needed one at that. And now we'll have to wait and see if Wareham can hold off the Bourne Braves out at Spillane Field. But for tonight, a much-needed win for Hyannis. That's more important. They can only control what they can control, and a much-needed road win tonight.
Well, right on cue, Brendan. Wareham just wrapped it up. They win 4-2 over Bourne. So now Hyannis sits at 13 points on the summer. Bourne at 20. And the differential sits exactly the same as it was before yesterday's play started. So a big win for Hyannis. They make up a little bit of ground, and a gritty pitching performance, probably the best one we've seen this summer.
Oh, without question. The first shutout of the season racked up, and they held these Orleans Firebirds to just 6 hits on the night. They were sporadic throughout the ballgame, but none came in bunches, which was the most important thing. And Hyannis really didn't get themselves into much trouble tonight on the hill, which, again, a great sign.
It was 0-0 going into the top of the ninth. Both offenses held scoreless. But Hunter Goodman, who's been as big of a power threat as maybe anybody in the Cape League this summer, does what he does best. A 2-run missile out to deep left field, a no doubter. And that gave Hyannis their go-ahead first and second run in the top of the 9th inning. For Goodman, a 5th home run on the summer, and he has not hit one bigger in 2019 here on Cape Cod.
No, not at all. And he's really making himself a case for the home run derby, wouldn't you say? I mean, he's got an absolute light tower power, sent that one a mile over the left field wall here at Eldridge Park. And it's nothing to sneeze at here, the fence at Eldridge Park. At 434 to dead center, and he hit that one into the alley. But Hunter Goodman, my goodness, the RBI leader coming into tonight, tacks on a couple more, and none bigger, like you mentioned, Lyle, than those two.
Goodman's 5th home run of the summer. He adds on to his league RBI totals at 23 and 24, as that 2-run blast gave Hyannis the shot they needed, and they grabbed the 2-0 victory for their 6th win of the summer, and they make up some ground on the Bourne Braves. Now, Brendan, tomorrow night, these two teams are set to go at it again. That'll be taking place at McKeon Park at 6 p.m. on a beautiful Friday, or weather, hopefully beautiful Friday night, but weather a little bit of a question up in the air for now. If these teams do play tomorrow night, and Orleans heads out to Hyannis fresh off this loss, more looking to the Hyannis side, what's going to be the key for them to kind of keep this up? Because this pitching really is starting to find their groove a bit.
Yeah, it is, and it's been their Achilles heel all season long. So I think going forward, the offense will take care of itself. The hits will come if they just stay aggressive. On the pitching side, however, they're going to have to locate in the zone and try and do some more soft contact like they did tonight. As I mentioned before, the Orleans hits were spread out throughout the ballgame, and they didn't really get hurt up in the zone too much tonight, which helped them out a lot. So Pleka tonight, as well as Fredrickson combined, or a couple of really, really strong outings. So tomorrow night, it's going to need to be more of the same out of the bullpen.
So one final time, Hyannis picks up the 2-0 victory over Orleans tonight at Eldridge Park. For each team, the final line for Hyannis, 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and they leave a total of 5 left on base. For the Firebirds, no runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They leave 8 on base. Patrick Fredrickson picks up the win tonight after going 4 scoreless in relief for Cole Pleka. His first victory of the summer as he moves to 1-1, with Jeffrey Pramel suffering the loss. And Trevor DeLate, the lefty out of Maine, picking up his first save for the Harbor Hawks Ball Club in 2019, and the second save for Hyannis as a team. First pitch time was 6:59 p.m. tonight. It was an absolute laser show. Or rather, the game went like a blink of an eye. 2 hours, 22 minutes. Game ended at 9:21 p.m., so the game really moved along fast. That's what will happen in a big pitcher's duel. So one of the shortest games Hyannis has played this season, 2 hours and 22 minutes. But they pick up the 2-0 victory to clinch their 6th win of the summer and come within 7 points of the Bourne Braves. That'll do it for us tonight. For one final time, alongside Brendan Howe, I'm Lyle Goldstein. We thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Thursday evening from Orleans, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. It'll be Hyannis and Orleans. First pitch set for tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at McKeon Park. We'll talk to you then.